On today's show, we see how a new piece of state legislation affects the way our classrooms could function.
And Connor Fuxa catches up with one senior who turned his love for cars into a business. These stories and more on this edition of Hilltop News.
What's rockin', Rock Nation? Welcome back to the second edition of Hilltop News. From Studio 1060, I'm Brandon McVay.
And I'm Kyla Lewis. I hope y'all are having a great start to the week. I know I am because it's officially the first day of fall.
That's right, Kyla. We have a great show in store for you today, so sit back, relax, and enjoy.
With the changes that come with every school year, teachers also have to adjust to the new state legislature that is set into place, and usually they have to adjust to the challenges that come along with them.
That's right, and this year is no different. Starting on September 1st, House Bill 3979 went into effect. It addressed topics such as critical race theory and what teachers are allowed to teach in social studies class. I was given the opportunity to sit down with a couple of our teachers as well as the district's chief of administrative services to see how Prosper is addressing and adapting to this bill.
I don't think people fully understand what the bill does. So you have a lot of people who think it does it's this broad sweeping thing that makes these massive changes, and it really doesn't do that.
I think this bill was very hurtful to minorities, especially who attend schools that lack diversity, because it's important for groups to learn about the issues that other groups face.
Critical race theory is an academic movement that seeks to examine the intersection of race and U.S. law in order to challenge mainstream American liberal approaches to racial justice. The instructional method of the CRT underlines the role of racism within society throughout history. The House bill states that the Texas State Social Studies curriculum may not discuss these concepts behind racism and sexism in the classroom setting. So many school districts are having to change their ways of teaching to abide by these rules.
We actually haven't had to omit anything or add anything. Everything that we have is what we've been teaching, and we are following what the curriculum is guiding us to. We're following what the TEKs are telling us, and our main goal is just to create awesome lessons for you guys to have awesome takeaways.
Although these topics are not discussed in the everyday classroom, there is much debate about whether or not CRT should be incorporated within the curriculum to make sure that students get a well-rounded understanding of history and these social concepts. If the curriculum is being regulated because students are feeling uncomfortable about topics in history, how can students be sure they are not getting a one-sided view of history?
There could be a legitimately helpful discussion that a student could have in class with their teacher and other students that maybe the teacher is a little more hesitant to jump into because they don't want, the scrutiny that might come with the bill.
The results taken from our poll, taken from the student body, showed that about 70% of students said that they heard about this bill. However, most say that none of their teachers have addressed it so far. Not only do social studies teachers have to follow the rules set under this bill, but on Friday, Governor Greg Abbott signed an additional law that furthers to prohibit the teachings of certain concepts about race. It develops civics training programs for teachers, as well as urges educators to teach that slavery and racism are, quote, deviations from the founding principles of the United States.
Thank you for that, Veronica. I'm interested to see how the combination of these two bills will shift the ways of learning in our classrooms.
Typically, cleaning is not what comes to mind when you think about after-game activities. Ashley Salloway highlights one club and their mission to keep our stadium clean.
After the excitement of a football game, many people race to be the first one out of the gate to go home. One problem this leaves is the leftover trash that covers the stadium. One Rock Hill Club has made it their mission to clean up the stands even after the crowd clears out.
Key Club's mission is to help out our community within the school, and then our city's community, and anywhere else that needs help. And so this year our mission is to do way more projects and service opportunities than we did last year.
Even with the idea of community service rooted in the club, cleaning up Prosper ISD's $53 million stadium was not something they initially had in mind.
It was so amazing because I had, I think, 5 kids email me back or respond to our assignment. Yes, we can help out. And then I was at the game and I'm looking for Key Club members and I'm just wondering because I'm not seeing anybody. And then the game ends and I have almost 24 kids instantly there. How can I help? What do I want to do? And they were so excited to help. And it was cleaning up other people's trash. And it was just such a beautiful example of true service. How can I help? The school needs our help. I'm right there, I'm doing it. And I was very, very proud of every one of them.
The Key Club plans to continue picking up after football games and hopes to get more students involved in keeping the stadium clean. For Hilltop News, I'm Ashley Salloway.
The Key Club is open to new members all year long. To join, reach out to Miss Moreno in room 2237.
We've all dealt with the challenges of keeping our cars clean, especially with all the dirt flying around with all the construction. Connor Fuxa catches up with one senior who turned his hobby of cleaning his personal cars into an entire business.
Welcome to our car wash.
Most people, when they want to get their car clean, go to a typical car wash like this one.
Thank you. Please pull forward.
But senior Ethan Burfitt takes a different approach when it comes to cleaning cars.
So every detail starts at a basic wash with tire dressing, wiping down the door jambs, and going up from there. Two of my packages include a full interior detail, which is where I do a full vacuum. I clean and condition all the plastics and leather seats if there are any, and that includes all of the windows cleans, streak-free. That's a big thing for me.
Ethan started his business in November of 2020. He started out with his neighbor's vehicles and eventually built a reputation and now specializes in luxury cars.
He's always been obsessed with cars. And then with social media, he started following some guys that own supercars and fell in love with that and just kind of tried to think of ways that he can be involved in that world. And so he started watching car detailing videos on YouTube. And he really taught himself everything he knows from YouTube.
Ethan has developed a large skill set from online videos, aiding him in his ability to detail cars at a professional level. However, he does still encounter some challenges that require some assistance from his family.
So I've known how to detail for about 3, almost 4 years now. But when it comes to like my customer service kind of things, my mom has really helped me with that. She's helped me talk to adults in a more professional manner, how to communicate them to everything that they're getting in the detail, to set their expectations correctly. And my dad is in finance, so he's really helped me find for like analysis and help me find my budget correctly. And so both my parents have really just helped me find what I need.
What most people think of as an after-school job, Ethan looks to turn into a large corporation all around the DFW area. His goal is to open storefronts for services as well as have vans that can be sent out to customers' houses for details. For Hilltop News, I'm Connor Fuxa.
If you want to check out Ethan's business, you can find all the information on his social media pages at Perfect Exotic Detailing.
Football, volleyball, and tennis have all been in action over the last week. Blake Schallmo is in studio to catch you up all things Rock Hill sports.
Last Friday night, our football team faced against Princeton at home. Blue Hawks pulled off a good win, 42-34, moving Rock Hill's record up to 2-2 and making them 2-0 at home. Rock Hill pulled off this win with big thanks to senior running back Donovan Shannon. Shannon had 37 carries for 278 yards and 5 touchdowns. With this monster performance, Shannon was submitted to be a finalist for Athlete of the Week. Friday, volleyball was also in action where they faced off against McKinney North at home. Volleyball took a tough loss, losing 3-0. Volleyball looked to rebound last night when they went on the road against Wiley East. They ended up taking another tough loss, 3-1. Tennis also had a match last night. They faced off against Denison and they took home a dominating win, 18-1, maintaining their undefeated record in district to 5-0. Looking on social media, you can easily see student athletes supporting and encouraging each other. Paula Bokemeyer takes a look into how the athletic department promotes unity.
Treading turf for hardwood. It's a different side out on the basketball court as girls basketball and softball practice together. This joint practice is all part of an initiative at Rock Hill to have all the athletic teams go out and support each other.
You know, it starts with our athletic theme of, you play one of us, you play all of us, and it really started back in the summer of 2020 when we had our first summer strength and conditioning, and it was all our Rock Hill athletes working out together, and we were building this school. And that support system of no matter what sport it is, volleyball supporting softball, softball supporting volleyball, all those sports coming out to support football and baseball. all, it creates that, that theme of unity.
The play one, play all mentality helps give Rock Hill sports a sense of unity and uplifts one another during games and now practices.
I mean, it just makes the game more enjoyable, more energetic, and I mean, gives us energy to go win the game.
Being energetic and supportive in the stand can help athletes perform better. It is important that the audience stays positive and encouraging to everyone playing.
It's really never about who we're playing. It's always about us and how we're playing and supporting Rock Hill athletes and Rock Hill teams. And so as long as we're cheering and they're cheering at a high level, cheering and encouraging our teams on, it's always great.
While fans encouraging the crowd, teams practicing together will push each other out of their comfort zone and motivate them to work hard. Because when you play one, you play all. For Hilltop News, I'm Paula Bokemeyer.
Throughout the rest of the school year, be sure to look out for all the organizations supporting each other on and off the field, because if you play one of us, you play all.
We want to leave you today with some announcements and news. Last chance to get your school ID portraits are Thursday in the LGI from 8 to 3.
Tomorrow is your last day to donate money to childhood cancer. With your donation of $2, you can either get a bracelet or a button. The class that raised the most amount of money will get Mr. Toth to wear their class shirt along with a gold tutu at the end of the month.
Yesterday, we got some heartbreaking news about one Prosper ISD student, Michaela Noble. Michaela had a tumbling accident and is currently hospitalized. Last night, members of our community went out and held a group prayer outside of her hospital. They started a GoFundMe that has already raised well over $35,000. If you would like to go help, go to Rock Hill Media on Twitter or Instagram for the direct link to donate. That's all for today's show. For Hilltop News, I'm Kyla Lewis.
I'm Brandon McVay.
And I'm Blake Schallmo. And remember, Blue Hawks, we are one and we are Prosper.